From the wild terrain of the Liji Badlands to the adorable hot air balloons over the Luyere Highlands. Come with me as I discover the beauty, culture, and history of Taiwan's Taitung County.
So here I've got a more traditional Taiwanese breakfast. You've got a danbing, it's like a pancake thing. You got a fried chicken in one and bacon in the other. There's $140 Taiwanese dollars for these two things and tea. Places like this are a little harder for foreigners to go to because a lot of them, like, they don't have English on the menu or anything. But these days you can use like Google Translate, you can take a picture of it and it'll give you like not the world's best translation, but you can sort of figure out what things are. It's usually really nice. This one, fried chicken, true breakfast in Taitung, really nice. Having a grumpy one this morning, eh? Like, long COVID's been kicking my ass, to be honest. Like, last night I went to bed at like 8, got up today at like 11, and I feel like I just need to go back to bed. Okay, so to deal with my emo boy mentality, I'm currently sitting looking at some rice, looking at some mountains. Apparently up there it's the Liji Badlands, right? If you're wondering, well, what is Badlands? Well, Badlands, hold on, I got it here. Badlands are a type of dry terrain where softer sedimentary rocks and clay-rich soils have been extensively eroded. They are characterized by steep slopes, minimal vegetation, lack of substantial regolith, and high drainage density. Ravines, gullies, butts, hoodoos, and other such geological forms are common in badlands. Alright, so that's what a badland is. You look up there, it does look like bad land. Not very good land. It's not been behaving itself. Alright? We're gonna have a look at it soon, but for now we're just gonna have a coffee by the canal. There's a canal there. And the rice. There's some rice there. Alright? Bananas. Bananas. There's some bananas. Damn. Those are some pretty bad lands. I wouldn't want my monster cards relying on those lands. I want them relying on more reliable lands, good lands. And those are bad lands. Looks like the soil is eroded and the sedimentary rocks as well have faced significant erosion. So you can see these rocks came crashing down through here. It just broke through this barrier thing, and then there's like some more that got stuck up there with the vegetation and the barrier. You can sort of see where it's all come crashing down from there. I don't know if that's from the typhoon or the earthquake, but I guess if it was from the earthquake, they'd already moved it. Not very strong rock though. It's more like muddy. I guess that's what they mean when they say sedimentary rocks, right? So these are the badlands up close. It's quite interesting, really. It's like a mudstone, so like the mud gets compressed into a kind of rock, but it's a very fragile kind of rock that just gets easily destroyed by the rain and the wind and everything. Quite interesting, eh? That is some bad land. Now this is a pretty nice spot near the Liji Badlands. You got badlands on this side. You got badlands on that side. And some good lands in the middle where people are doing some farming. It's a really nice little village. Little tower you can stop at in the village to look out over everything. There's some chickens. This is the village. All very nice. All very quaint. Definitely suggest a visit. There's a church. Cheer, bro. Mate, I'm literally just going, bloody hell. Just look at this. Look at this. You got Taitung city over there. I just saw a sign saying like something flower cafe. Oh yeah, I'll have a look at that. Probably has a good view. Oh my word. That is so cool. World's most scenic sandwich experience. The coffee I got here, it's a little bit expensive. It's like 110. But it tastes like craft beer. Like, it's not really tastes like that, but it reminds me of the taste of craft beer, so it's a bit weird, eh? But it's pretty nice. A little bit weird for a coffee. Look at that. Bloody hell. Alright, so down here we've got this town of Luye. That's where we're going next. Just above it we've got the Luye Highlands, which are like where there's a balloon festival going on, but currently I don't see any balloons. That's what was kind of interesting. A guy came, sat down, talked to me. He said apparently over there, somewhere down there, is where the first ever game of baseball was played in Taiwan. This area was like a Japanese settlement. Everyone's waiting for a white train to come through. And as much of a sucker for a train as I am, I think it's time to get on. You are so beautiful. You want to be in my movie? Alright, what we have here is another remnant of the Japanese colonial past. This here is a Shinto shrine of, you know, the traditional religion of Japan. Right? So you got a Shinto shrine here. This kind of shows you a sort of unique mix of religion, particularly here on the East Coast. You have an old Shinto shrine, which doesn't really reflect religious views of the people in Taiwan anymore, especially because the Japanese colonial project wasn't like a attempt to assimilate the Taiwanese into Japanese society, but rather a supremacist project in which the Taiwanese were underneath the Japanese, and so at the end of the Japanese Empire, the Japanese colonists pretty much all returned back to Japan. And it's quite interesting because we've got a Shinto shrine over there, the traditional Shinto shrine, and then we have a Taoist temple. I can never tell the difference between a Buddhist and a Taoist temple. But it's got many of the features of Chinese folk religion. Many of the characters, we got the lion. I kind of wish I knew what these scenes were about. A few of the traditional characters that you'll see in temples all around Taiwan. And of course across the street, because this is of course the East Coast, dominated by well, not dominated by, but with a large proportion of its population being indigenous Taiwanese. We have one more thing to look at. So of course, this being the East Coast, right, you have the indigenous Taiwanese, and the indigenous Taiwanese tend to be Christian. So what have we got across the street? A lovely church. A quaint wee church. So this little area just sort of shows you a sort of unique mix of cultural and religious influences on Taiwanese society. Okay, I'm not meant to park here, but I need to show you something. I was talking about pineapples before. Alright, and you can see them growing out of the top. Pineapples. 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 See, little tiny pineapples. Little tiny pineapples. Pineapples, 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 pineapples. 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 A lot of pineapples. That's what they look like. Okay. Is that the bloody PX Mart song? You can't escape it. Alright, I figured out why they got the PX Mart song. They got the PX Mart guy who's flying around. Yeah, that must be Hello Kitty. You can hear them, that's pretty intense. Hello Kitty's coming up. We got the PX Mart fella. There's Hello Kitty. Frankenstein.
哇，这一颗应该是我们今年的主角，没有错，它就是我们的 Hello Kitty，就在山坡的右侧，正式的。